Ride around my top down, window shaking a lot now. I'ma stay proud, no Kane Brown, but I thank God for these days now. Don't make sounds, crash glass, no rebounds. End town, Nashville, and I stay proud now. Welcome to Nashtyville, where all the conversations are nasty. As always, got my main man, DeMonty.
What's up?
And the queen of positivity, Miss Care Bear. How you doing,
Bear.
Care?
Great, I'm awesome.
The queen of positivity.
The queen of positivity.
Karen's got her screen name, and I'm still working on one.
Give us a positive, something positive to start off our day today.
Well, I would say the first positive note is that your video came out yesterday or today, and it's amazing. It looks great, and
okay,
that's a positive thing to say. I would say all week, so that's pretty cool.
So Karen's starting to show out with a lie today. Not even like we said positive, and she's starting right out the gate lying to you.
No.
Hey, it's Friday.
The video is actually really good.
The video is really good. So, so for the listeners out there, just dropped a new song called Ring Around the Rosie. It's a lot different than the original Ring Around the Rosie.
Slightly
different.
Yeah.
Just brought a little bit of hip hop to Ring Around the Rosie. And in some ways it could be a little controversial, I guess you can say, but
the song in general is,
is controversy.
Yeah.
You got some stuff to talk about that, Karen?
Yeah, Karen gave us a little life lesson before we even got started today. Karen, now you got to tell the people.
And if you don't already know, Ring Around the Rosie, the nursery rhyme is about the Black Plague. And when people were dying, they had to, burn the bodies because back then there was no other sanitary way to get rid of the disease. And the pocket full of posies was so that you didn't smell bad from your or from all of the other things going around. So that's it.
We're gonna put some posies in your pocket now.
But yeah.
I'd rather have pockets full of Ozies than posies.
That's funny. But the fact that it was a nursery rhyme and that's like the background of it. Yeah. It's pretty interesting that you rewrite that thing in 2024 and drop it with a whole new spin.
Oh, yeah. If you think about it, posies are what? Posies are a flower or whatever?
A flower. Probably,
posies
I hope it's a flower. Yeah.
And Ozies are also a flower. So technically, it stayed in the same lane.
Right.
What would you rather smell like? Posies or Ozies?
That's actually fun. I didn't think about it like that. So what prompted though? Because I've not even asked you this as much, and you started talking about this long before it actually came into fruition. What prompted you to rework this one out of all songs in nursery rhymes?
Out of every song that I've ever done, this has been the most excited song for me to drop, just because of how long Ring Around the Rosie in general lasted, and to this day, it's one of the biggest childhood songs of all time.
Yeah.
So like kids or people that are in their 80s and kids that are 3-4 years old still know this song. So like just that catchy tune or whatever, the Ring Around the Rosie, pockets full of posies. But when I heard that, I was like, you know what? Like, what's a childhood tune that kids will get engaged with that they can easily pick on, that it will be super catchy?
Yeah.
Ring Around the Rosie was the song, the original song came out in like the 1800s or maybe even like 70s.
Yeah,
what was it, 1800s?
Back when they were burning bodies. And,
1800s song came out in.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the song came out.
Karen's going to be our Google expert today and get us the right answer for the people.
Yeah, let's see. I'm pretty sure it came out in the 1800s because the one thing they didn't have back in the day was copyright. So it's public domain. So literally you can say verbatim the Ring Around the Rosie.
Right.
And put it on recording, and there's no copyright or anything towards it.
I didn't think about that either.
Even though we did put our own swing on it by making it more hip and traditional, because I wanted to hit like the kids heavy, then I wanted to hit like people like driving in their car that are smokers. Like I wanted to hit all the different types of categories in one song, and then also dance or whatever.
Yeah. That's where I told you though. I think the dance is where the beat is so catchy. I think the dance is what picks up, and we tease and laugh about it all the time. I was like, bro, you got to get in, you got to hit this TikTok window where all these challenges are happening, and create something that the people want to hear, and you can make whatever out of it you want to. I mean, Karen, I don't know if we didn't mention it during the preliminary conversations, but Dave was actually showing me he's brilliant in that he's got Lon's school where she practices dance. They're actually working on a routine to ring Around the Roses, which is pretty cool. And I said, the thing is, I think this song has so many layers that you'll get the dance schools doing it. You'll get TikTok doing it. What you just said a few minutes ago, this was around when grandma was a child.
Yes.
So this thing, if they hear it, they may not necessarily like the hip hop, style that you put to it, but the song in general and the nursery rhyme is going to resonate with, generations of people, not just, we're dealing with now. So yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes for you. Like it'll be
The
good.
song originally,
It'll be
allegedly,
good.
came out in the mid-19th century, but it says it was about the Black Death that happened in the 14th century in England.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, the Rosies were red marks. Oh, but the Rosies were also red marks that were on people's skin that killed them. And the ashes. When you all fall down at the end of the game, that's because they're all
dead.
You died.
Oh wow!
So yeah, you're welcome, bro, for putting that in your video. You killed all the kids that were.
No.
Actually, it was a nice touch though. What made you tie? And I love the idea of you incorporating your own kids and neighborhood kids into all that. Was that part of the initial thought process when you came up with the song, or is that something that just kind of morphed after?
No,
you got the creative juices got the flowing.
So originally, I recorded the song. It didn't have the kids in it.
Okay.
And like I did think like kids would be kind of cool, like in the back of my mind.
Right.
But I didn't add the kids in until a friend of mine had a conversation with Pitbull, and Pitbull listened to the song.
Okay.
And Pitbull said, "Hey, I think he needs to." And Pitbull listened to it like 3 times.
Yeah.
And then said, "I think he needs to add kids in the chorus." And then I went back to the studio a week later and added all the kids in the chorus.
So what you're saying is you're going to have to send Pitbull a thank you note later on after this thing pops. Yeah.
Yeah, or he could just hop on the remix after it pops.
I mean, and I guess a great segue into not to leave this subject because it's hot and it's the new thing for today. But yeah, we actually went to Karen. I don't know if you know, we went to see Pitbull this week.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Pretty freaking awesome, actually.
Pretty freaking awesome.
I told Dave, I said, what's that now?
What venue were you guys at? When you
Bridgestone. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the trilogy tour that he's on right now.
Enrique Iglesias, Ricky Martin, and Pitbull.
And then Pitbull comes and slams the door shut at the end. But I told Dave, I said, if I could equate that concert, because we had a ball. I mean, we really did. But if I could equate that performance to anything, if you've ever been in Miami in the club, it is like
the whole thing was
the entire thing was nonstop. Just, I mean, like you look around 20,000 people, and I don't know that I've ever been to a concert. You have your pockets of the crowd, where everybody's like dancing nonstop. You're always gonna have them 5 or 6 people right in your vicinity that they're rapping everything and they're singing everything and they're dancing the entire 4 or 5 hours of the. Dude, that was the first concert I've ever been to, and I've been to see a lot of great, performances, man. But that is one of the first ones like that I can honestly say, from start to finish, the moment that he walked out on the stage and everybody lose their mind, until the moment that confetti falls and he walks back off, it was an absolute club scene in there, and I was there for every minute of it. So
it was awesome.
It
was probably the best performance I've ever seen.
It was a great performance
in my life.
Really was. Yeah,
and I've seen everyone. I will say best live performer as far as like talented wise. was Ed Sheeran because he plays the loop and plays like 50 instruments by himself.
Yeah.
Which is extremely impressive.
Right.
But Pitt, as far as a show goes, like the dancers are on scene.
Yeah, that's
like the dancers.
Yeah.
Him.
Yeah.
Like he'll talk.
Yeah.
He'll talk. He'll be like, all right, like he'll be like, and then I did this and stuff like that, and you just gotta be motivated and positive, darling, and boom, and then
right into it. Karen, that's what made it cool though, because he's actually walked you through, and I mean, it kind of reminded us of like some of the guests we've had on the show. Like we always encourage, like we just did Gray today. What's going on in Gray's life right now? Like highlight for the people, what the hot moment is. But for him, that's what I thought it was super cool because like a lot of times you'll get little snippets of that.
Yeah.
During concerts versus, he talked about building schools, back in his old hood and everything else. But he literally tied a song right back to, so it was that I'm giving you the story of what Pitbull is doing right now. But let me tell you that this thing has been a process, the entire time. And it's exactly what Dave said. It is like that. You're like, oh man, great job. And you're just like, oh my God, we're back in the club again, like within seconds. It is just that nonstop.
Yeah.
It's that nonstop, action. And so I'll care, for the people that's listening, I will encourage you. If you get a chance, that's one of those, and I think that's just one of those lifetime performances, that if you get the opportunity to go and see it,
you have to
you have to go and, check that box because it'll be well worth your time.
Yeah, there's a few big performers out there, obviously, but like, when I saw him,
and taking nothing from the other guy, it's a trilogy. It was a great, it was a great show, in general. So we're not trying to discredit, the time and effort that everybody else put in, but man, like it was. If you're gonna close it, that's exactly how you close it. Like it was outstanding.
It was
like,
second.
The whole time.
It was outstanding. And I mean, I've seen the Ushers and the Beyoncés, and like I'm telling you, there's some names that just carry and resonate more with, the masses. Pitbull, literally, and we don't want to put him inside, the Latino box. That is the only people. No, sir, because you sit there and you forget how many bangers this dude has. So it's just hit
crazy
after hit after hit, and you're like, Jesus, I know so many of his songs.
He probably had 100 more songs that he could have done,
right?
People that still would have been,
and they would have partied the entire time.
Same thing, because everything this man touches is a hit.
Karen, I think he's the only person that's probably played Bridgestone that everybody was too wore out. So when they left, I think everybody was too wore out from dancing for 4 or 5 straight hours to even go hit Broadway and party.
Yeah, they're like, forget this. I'm going to bed.
And it was Tuesday night. Let's be real. It was Tuesday, Wednesday night. So yeah, it was. You're talking midweek, but still, it was well worth. It was well worth the effort.
What was the high?
Definitely gotta look him up.
Yeah, it was good.
What was your favorite song that he did?
Pitbull. Oh man, come on. You're not going. I mean. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you did love that when he came out with that. Yeah.
That's my jam. I thought you were about to like try to put me on a spot since I told him during the concert. I said, dude, I should have stuck with my Babbel app because I felt like I would have just enjoyed it even that much more if I knew all the words to every single song and knew what he was saying in every single song.
Dude, I love I love the Pitbull Neo combo. That's always been like one of my favorite
that was nice.
Because like Pitt, the one thing I will tell you, Pitt works with a lot of the same artists on multiple stuff, like Pitt, Lil Jon, Pitt, Neo, Pitt, like, and those songs are huge.
Yeah.
Like every one that they drop.
Yeah.
But when he did that tonight, I'm in love.
But that's what I'm saying. It's so hard to pick because of everybody. Like, I mean, we're like,
everything was a dance.
It was super good, man.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was dope. I would go back again.
Karen, what was the highlight of your week?
Highlight of my week. I've been working on taxes, guys. You guys have had a great week.
Taxes.
Karen, actually, the answer should have been is this. You should have said this is the highlight of the week.
This
is the highlight of the week.
This is the highlight of the week.
Highlight of the week.
That's too funny, man.
So, Karen, check this out. So this drunk man is walking on the street, right? And he walks into a priest. And he tells the priest, he's like, listen, I'm Jesus Christ. And the priest is like, what are you doing? That's blasphemy. You can't say that. Like, you're not Jesus Christ. Like, don't say that. That's blasphemy. And then he goes, listen, I'm telling you, I'm Jesus Christ. I'll prove it to you right now. So he grabs the priest's hand, and they walk into the local bar, and the bartender looks at him and goes, Jesus Christ, you're back again?
Okay, now we have to make sure we take the mic back from him. Because Karen, I honestly thought that was going somewhere completely different than where he went. Because there was this really nice kid that bumped into us the other night on the street.
Oh my God.
So when you started that story, I was like, wait a minute. Okay, he's about to tell.
I hope he's alive.
I hope he's alive. We had to go instantly dad mode with this kid. But I mean, it was awesome. So that's where I thought you were going when you were like, Karen. It was this drunk guy. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. We're talking about the concert. We're talking about the other night. And all of a sudden he goes to this joke. And I was like, whoa.
He was so nice.
He was super nice.
But he was
we were
stumbling
nice
all over the place. And he was drunk. He's like, listen, I'm by myself. He's like, I have no friends. He's like, I'm just looking to hang out with some people tonight. I came all the way from Minnesota to watch this game.
And how he found us out of this massive crowd, because we're walking into the, I mean, literally.
He's like, I have no money.
Were you with Chris and Rebecca, or were you with
No, it was just us. Like, literally, I think it was a Nashtyville Podcast hat. That did it, because we were both rocking her. But I mean, he finds us out of this massive amount of people walking up the street, going into the arena, and
he's like, I have no money, but I have this water bottle full of Patron. Do you think they'll let me into the bars with this water bottle? And I'm like, I guess. But then his shirt was drenched.
Yeah, I told him his pocket. I said, your leaking pocket on the front is probably gonna like wave a flag for all the bouncers. That you probably have something in there that you should not have in your pocket. But I was like, and then you're too hammered to actually still be sipping on that bottle. So like if we were hanging out and we were like, if we weren't going into the concert, oh dude, you could hang with us. So he was like, yeah, I've been down here for like 4 hours already. I was like, that's kind of part of the problem, man. That you've been down here for 4 hours.
Concert. He was
not. No, so he came in literally for vacation. And he was Broadway. He was typical Broadway. He was Broadway drunk already. And
I wonder if he's all right. I mean, shout out to that kid if you're watching Nashtyville.
We hope you're
podcast.
Good. Send us a message. Let us know you're still alive.
Send us a message.
We're a little bit worried about you, brother.
We'd love to have you on.
Yeah.
Next week or whatever.
Tell us about your experience here in Nashville. Literally bumping into strangers and making friends.
So, Care, so we go before the show, we go into like Justin Timberlake's 1230 Club or whatever, like that steakhouse there.
Yeah, supper club.
And we sit down and we sit at the bar or whatever, and we're eating steak, and there's like this group, like 2 girls and a guy that come up or whatever, and I look at D and I'm like, yo, that
he's like he's got to be somebody.
Like that girl that's with that guy, like he has to be someone. Like who do you think that? And then D's like, nah, he's just
super
a regular,
attractive, Karen. That's why he's saying, I'm telling you,
just a regular,
I'll tell on him,
regular country dude or whatever. Like he was, DeMont's like, nah, he's just some freaking regular country dude. I'm like, all right, yeah, probably. And then people started going up to him like, yo, can we take pictures? And I was like, D, he's definitely not.
Got to be somebody. Like, I mean, because that did happen like immediately after. He like literally he stops and poses with these people. We were like, okay, maybe he's not a regular dude just standing here at the bar. And then we start like racking our brain trying to figure out like who this dude. Because after I saw him, I looked and I was like, dude, he looks super familiar. I was like he looks really familiar. So of course we get out our phone and I was like, it's not Luke Bryan, it's not Luke Combs. Like I'm going through. And
sure enough, it's Jason Aldean.
Yeah, standing right there.
It was Jason
and his wife standing right there at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
and they went to the Pitbull show too.
Yeah, they did. And that's the only reason we had all the way confirmation, because Pitt shouted them out like after, because it was Jason's birthday. So he
Yeah.
thanked our Deans for coming out to the show and said happy birthday to Jason during the show. So I was like, yeah, we just kind
So
of
you didn't run
fake
up to
had.
him? Can you come on the podcast next week?
No,
I know
I
we were gonna ask him,
You didn't
but
take that opportunity?
I told Ray
we'd
he was going.
much rather him see this here than ask him in
Yeah.
person and be weird. So Jason
Fair
Aldeana, you're
enough.
welcome to
We'd
hop on the
love to
show
have you.
too as
Yeah.
well.
I got a few questions to
I love
ask
Jason
Jason.
I love you.
I got a few questions to ask Jason. Hop on, Jason. We'll be nice about it all.
I had one of the repeat for quite a while, a few years back. So
Yeah.
it's been a while, but yeah.
No, but that's what we love. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, the podcast is Nashtyville, but we sat there and joked. We were like, because there were these kids that sat down beside us and they were contemplating whether or not the guy was going to move here for law school. So shout out to you guys as well, because we had a nice conversation. They started following actually while we were talking
Nice.
to them. But there's nowhere, the city is so unique. And why we love it so much is that, you get a Pitbull, concert on Tuesday night, and then you turn around and you are standing there right beside a Jason Aldean in the most open public space of, so the city's great for that, and I get why people like absolutely just smash us every weekend for visitation for trying to get here to either move here to make it in music, or that you have that random shot of just running into whoever in the streets here. So
Luke Bryan
it's cool.
wearing
Well,
freaking.
one of my favorite things too is about Nashville. It was that when I would go, from place to place, that even if they were not a huge, well-known person, there's a ton of talent. They sound like they're, amazing. Everyone sounds amazing, even if they aren't super well-known. So that's awesome.
No,
people come here to be heard.
They do.
Or whatever, especially in country.
Especially in country.
Country is like
But
this.
What are we about to do?
But we're bringing hip hop to
flip
Nashville,
that script.
Bringing
Yeah.
hip hop
which is
to Nashville. I like country, but I like
which is huge.
Yeah, so that good segue.
Yeah, for the first
that.
time. So for the first time in history, on Broadway, there's never been a residency on Broadway that has been hip hop ever. So we're bringing the first hip hop show to Broadway, which is huge. At the Sky Deck above the Assembly Food Hall.
Yep.
So shout out to the Assembly Food Hall. Shout out to Brett.
Right.
Shout out to Dale. Shout out to Betty. Shout out to everyone that's making it happen over at Assembly Food Hall for us.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Much appreciated. And it will be called Nashtyville Thursdays. Every Thursday that we're going to be throwing these.
So Karen,
parties.
you got to come back.
I will
Bring
come
your
back.
laptop. Bring your laptop. We know you may have to plug in on Friday, but you got to get back here for Nashtyville Thursday. You're part of the party, so you got to be
Part of
here.
the party.
Like it's
For sure.
Yeah,
It's not the
first-
same when I'm this far away.
yeah.
First
Yeah, I was gonna say, give them the
performer.
lineup if you know already. Just
So first performer, we have a few undercard performers, some local hip hop artists that are gonna come out and really throw down for Thursday or whatever.
right.
And then I'll perform, and then I wanted to bring the GOAT in Robin S.
Yeah.
for the first show
Yeah.
on Nashtyville Thursdays
Yeah.
to kick things off or whatever. And then every week we'll display local Nashville hip hop artists' talent. We'll pick a bunch to come out and perform and
Yeah, that'd be
and
good.
do what the
What the country scene is doing.
country people are doing.
Yep.
We're just gonna bring hip hop up
Yep.
there and create a safe environment for everyone to come out and perform and have a good time. And there'll be label execs there. There'll be big producers there. There's gonna be big artists there consistently. We're doing a bunch of big shows. We got Rick Ross on April 26th performing or whatever.
Rosie.
Rich the Kid April 27th. And then so we have a lot of big events. Shaquille O'Neal's coming in March 29th, so actually even before. So if anyone's watching this, come out and support any of those events. If you want to see any of those artists, it would be a good time to really
yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for Shaq to get here so people can actually understand how tall I really am.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dwarf him. I'm telling you.
Shaq will picks you up
I'm
in
gonna
like one.
dwarf him.
He picks you up in one hand.
Yeah,
he's
you'd be like, it'd be like when we
"Hey."
talk to 4-3. Like, do people ever pick you up? No,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, I wonder when like Shaq, like how would Shaq pick up
With
4-3?
4-3?
Would he be like this?
We may need to see. We may need to see if we can get 4-3 in town that weekend. We go tear Broadway up
we
one
are.
night.
Let's
Let's
actually let's
see if we
fly.
can, let's see if we can get 4-3 in for that night. That way we got Robin S. We got Robin S. not here that night, but
No, Robin is. She's
that
gonna
same
stay.
night.
Yeah, she's gonna stay Thursday
Yeah, so that would be
and
good.
Friday.
So that would be perfect because then we would actually have two of our guests that we've had on,
Yeah.
like in the city at the same time as well. So that'd be pretty dope.
Let's get 4-3
Yeah,
out
that would
here
be pretty
just
dope.
so Shaq.
Just to have
I want
yeah.
Shaq to really like hold him like a baby.
No, we're not doing that.
No.
We're not doing that. That's not what we're doing. But no, that's a nice lineup, man. Especially like with it being brand new and out the gate. That's a pretty strong start. I mean, so
Yeah.
that's good.
Can't ask for better, man. And
I just like it. I like it because it's bringing, like this is a diverse city, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a diehard country fan. I can listen to, whatever, but I do like the idea of like this city is huge. So mix it up, like let's see all the talent that's out there because I do think, you get a little capped being on Broadway with that being our main scene, in the city and, you have pretty much one genre that you're running versus you got all this other, talent in the city to kind of put on display. So let's do it when it's not necessarily a ticket sale out there to get it done. So
before I did the Wiz Khalifa show or whatever, and or actually first we did Loonies and Trinidad James,
right?
Or whatever. Then we did Wiz Khalifa and Young Buck and stuff like that. But before I did those events, I have never seen any hip hop at all on Broadway.
Well, it always comes in a form of a concert. You know what I'm saying? So that's the
Bridgestone,
the city's great about bringing talent in, but as far as you having that regular, because I'll tell you, and I'll use my world for an example. A lot of my friends from out of town, they go, well, I mean, it ain't a whole lot for black people to do there, and that's not true. There's a ton to do in Nashville, but I think the focus is more so that you just have everybody knows Broadway.
Yeah.
Nobody knows anything beyond that. That's our main strip. It's like, Bourbon Street and that's what everybody's going to go check that box and say that they did that, versus it's time to, start opening that world up and, letting talent be, because I'd love to see it morph into even more than that. Let's get into the arts. Let's get into, everybody don't even like, I hesitate to say everybody don't like music. You like some form of music, more than likely. But there's other things that you enjoy more than that. That this city is too broad and too big not to offer enough of a, diverse offering.
Exactly.
Technically. I mean,
so whenever I go to Broadway, and sometimes you could catch me downstairs or whatever, but there's certain places that like, all right, let's go up to the rooftop.
Right.
That's where the hip hop's
Right.
at or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think, and that's just DJing. People DJ, but there's a decent amount of people. Like these rooftops are flooded because
flooded.
People are dying for good hip hop in Nashville.
Yeah.
They just never had it or whatever.
Yeah.
So we're bringing good hip hop.
Well, it'll be a different dance scene for sure.
Yes.
And we all know you head to Broadway to dance, man.
Mm-hmm.
Drink and dance is all that's going to, really take place down there. So if you give them that mix, and I think it used to be called Nashville. Don't beat me up for this, but I think I know it was. It was called Mix Factory. Here, that was multiple layers, but each layer had a different genre of music. So like it was a hot spot downtown because like if you like techno is there. If you like rap is there. If you like country is there. But you had different levels. Within the same building that you didn't have to. Like it didn't matter what you liked or what you didn't like. It's your choice, dealer's choice that you walk in and you pick whatever floor you want to land on. So I think this, starts that whole, you got an open sky mix factory.
Yeah.
Open
sky deck.
You have an open sky deck to do this from.
Which is good.
So, yeah.
And the sky deck, in my opinion, is the nicest rooftop on all of Broadway.
It for sure has the most beautiful view.
most beautiful view by a
whatsoever.
landslide.
You're sitting in the heart of it all. So.
Yeah, right in the smack dab, right over Bridgestone, right over everything.
Yeah.
Pure. Best view, 1,800 capacity.
Right.
So like you got space and.
So don't be 1801, or you will be left out.
Yeah.
1801, 1802. She's going to be mad at you. You got to change up and do something else for date night. So.
Yeah, and Ring Around the Rosie will be played on.
He's like, we're going to have that in regular rotation.
Yeah, that will be on the Sky Deck. So just be prepared.
Karen, you got to learn all the words. You got to bring that. You got to bring the first live dance to it. To the city.
Karen, what would you rank yourself as a dancer if you were to rank yourself 1 through 10?
I would have to say a 2. So I'm gonna have to work on my dance.
Yeah.
She said a 2. Back in the day, I did take dance. My kids were both dancers. They were both. I invested a lot into the dance community, just like your daughters.
Yeah,
but no,
that's funny.
So I guess I gotta get some YouTube videos to get my dance moves back.
All right, let's get your dancing going. Tell them how good my dancing is.
Yeah, it's the same dance over and over again. Speaking of which, I forgot to send it to you from the concert the other night because he even found a spot during the concert the other night to drop it in there. Like, I was like, really, bro? The dance follows this man everywhere.
We should post this on the Nashtyville page.
Yeah, we got to post it on there. That'll be good,
because it's pretty hilarious.
Yeah. But it's just, I got to learn his dance, Karen.
Okay, I'll learn
that way, because honestly, that's what we should do. We should legit. We'll do that on the Sky Deck one night. Then we'll have everybody watch him do it, and then we'll give a prize away for the best
best dancer. Mimic.
For the best mimic of Dave's signature dance.
You know, another thing that Nashville is missing that they really don't have, or you can't go to a place and catch it, but on the East Coast, it's the biggest thing in the world, beer pong. In the East Coast, there's competitions every day.
Right.
Tournaments.
Wow.
Right.
Freaking, like, you go, like, shout out to Leonard Williams, even though I'm a huge Cowboys fan. We would play beer pong together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
these are like regular tournaments that they do there?
Tournaments, like cash prizes or whatever. Like, I'm playing with the third highest paid defensive tackle in all of the NFL, or maybe second highest paid defensive end in the whole NFL.
Right.
For $100 to win, but they're taking it so competitive.
So what you're saying is what you're saying is that we got to get with the Assembly Food Hall.
We're doing it. We're already gonna do it. We're gonna.
It's just brilliant. It's too much good local here.
Yeah.
I mean, so like it's a great idea to bring in the local beer and let them, and maybe even throw Nappy Roots in the mix. They got their I mean, make it a friendly competition. And get somebody out there to. Get up some prizes and everything and like change the scene a little bit.
Legally, I think you have to play with water in the cups.
Yeah, I could see that.
Or whatever.
But
they can drink their beers.
Right.
Instead of just chugging the beers from the thing or whatever.
Right.
But
it's also a lot less messy that way and a lot less sticky with water.
That is
correct too. That as well. Yeah.
Karen's still traumatized from the chugging.
Yeah. Oh,
like
Karen,
the ball is just no.
Let's talk about this chug real quick because the Nasty.
Yeah, we haven't addressed that actually.
The Nappy Roots podcast is now out as of today, so people are going to be watching people are currently watching the Nappy Roots podcast right now.
Yeah.
While we're recording this.
Right.
So, but let's talk about your experience in this beer chug contest.
My experience was that I failed miserably. And I'm kind of proud of that in a way.
Yeah.
So back in the 90s, proud of that. I back in the 90s, I was great to be like I said, the keg stand queen. But now it's like, okay, no, I looked in the corner of my eye and the guy from Nappy Roots, he had me. So I was like, why would I do this? If he's got me already, why would he try?
Yeah, he went into pure destruction mode on everybody. Like
he destroyed.
He did. It may have been closer if he had drank. You know what I mean, Karen? It may have been closer if he had just drank straight out the pitcher and everybody else had their cup still.
You know what?
That may have made it a little closer.
I'm not gonna lie. Will
actually represent it as well.
Will represent. If Will had his first chug.
Yeah.
If he had his first chug, in the second round, I think he would have won.
Been. It'd have been much closer for certain.
Because the first chug, he inhaled it.
Yeah.
I like you said ready, set, go. It was there and down.
I still think he had like a little help inside of his beard. Like I think he hid like a cup or something in there. So like he turned it up, and like half of it went into this little hidden pocket that none of us could see. So like,
yeah.
Well, I got to challenge Will because I got to see it up close and personal next time and make sure that there wasn't cheating.
That was faster than Nappy Roots' second round.
The second one
when he did it. He just caught a bubble in the second round that made him lose.
Well, in all fairness, too, though, I think everybody was probably getting pretty close to their intoxication line.
Yeah,
at
but
that point,
there
too,
was
so
already a lot of beers prior to that.
Yeah, it was a lot going on prior to that moment. So, note to Seth and
Elijah came in second place.
Yeah.
In the
preliminary.
In the second round.
Oh, in the second one,
he was close to actually beating.
No, you're right.
Beating Still. Wasn't it Still that won it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was close to beating Still.
Yeah.
But Still took the win. So congrats to the Nappy Roots for taking the win.
Yeah, no.
It's almost like it was scripted.
It was scripted. They brought beer in and then they go win the chugging contest.
But really it was not scripted. Like the Nappy Roots actually did win.
Yeah, they won.
Which is all odds against them.
Right.
Because we swept them in the whole first round.
Right.
And then it was down to just one Nappy Root.
Right.
Against three of us.
And we still took a L.
And we lost.
Yeah, we still took a L. It's
all
fine.
odds against them, and we lost.
Yeah,
or whatever.
It's fine.
So we may have to do a rematch.
Yeah. I think they're down.
Timmy Baird came in heavy or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Timmy was here.
Timmy Baird threw down pretty good, like made it to the final round.
Yeah.
Which was huge. That was a big one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Karen got annihilated in the first round.
By design. Karen's like, I'm not going to keep doing this all night. So.
Well, and like you said, he, drank a lot of Miller Lite back in the 90s, and I think I was slamming probably Bud Light back then. So their beer is not slamming beer. Their beer was good watermelon.
It's a nice sipper.
Oh my God, their beer aftertaste was like I just ate a watermelon.
And we had it warm.
Okay.
Yeah, and we had it warm. Yeah, it was freaking
good.
Great. There's not like honestly, I hate beer. Yeah. I only drink one drink.
That's why that night I was sitting there, I was like, oh boy, he is like really going for it for the guests tonight.
Yeah, I don't even like beer. But I stayed at one drink and one drink only. And I drank that beer, no problem. It was freaking awesome.
And that's where it's gonna bother me if I don't fix it. I'm pretty sure it's watermelon chicken grits. I had to like imagine the can in my head. And it's in that order, so let's fix the order for the people that way.
Watermelon chicken and grits. Go out, go support, go buy it.
Get it, support them.
We love the Nappy Roots. They're freaking awesome.
Yeah, they were awesome. We got to re-up that
one. They took a big hand in creating that too. It's not like they just had it labeled and popped their own label on it.
They own that. So props to them for being right in the middle of the mix. So, yeah.
And they held it down, man. I mean, you couldn't have asked for more, man.
It was good.
They came out. They were ready to rock, ready to show the people what they're made out of.
Yeah, it was a good time.
They did, man.
I'm just glad we got it all on film. That way, like you said, people are watching the show right now. As we record the new one. So it's hey, go check it out. You get to see it live. What you'll see what we're saying today is not fake. It actually happened.
If you're watching this podcast without watching the Nappy Roots podcast. Make sure to go tune in and watch that right now.
It was worth it.
Care, if you had to go, let's do some top threes real quick. So out of the podcasts that we've shot already, which ones are your top three podcasts?
Oh, that's hard now to say.
That is tough.
Three. Wow. I don't even know.
To give people
I don't want to offend anybody, right?
No.
I'm positivity.
Well, top three favorite for you. I think there's different categories.
That's the thing, man. They fall because we've been all over the board. We've done music, we've done comedy, we've done, and so for me,
Robin S, for sure, and then our friend from Lady A, for sure, he was amazing.
Yeah,
Slim Gamble. I will tell. I'm gonna be honest, and Slim, if you're watching this, I love you to death. But I'm gonna be honest. I didn't expect Slim Gamble's podcast
Slim is leading the pack right now.
Slim is going nuts.
Yeah, Slim is leading the pack.
People love Slim.
Like he had plenty to talk about, you know. People that are in the background are, you know, not always the.
You're right though. It was good. I mean, it was, but that's why I love the show. I mean, we say it all the time. It's organic. It's raw. It's real. It don't get no. I feel like DK today. Yeah, when I was joking about it before the show started, I was like, man, this is the first show I shot without a hat. I ain't even go get a haircut. Like I was like, I'm like, this is as raw. Like I feel like DK. Like I'm like, this is as raw and real as you're gonna get.
There's some categories. So like a lot of our show usually consists of comedy, right?
Because I was gonna say the Chucky impersonator person.
4-3.
4-3.
That's what I said. So we have comedy, we have music, we have motivational. You know. Because I'll put Robin S. and Jabari in, you know, we talked about this. Like, I mean, you almost have different buckets. It's almost hard to weigh them, you know, against each other because then you go, you know, we got Cedric, you got Afro Man, you got, you know, like Chalk and everybody else that, you know, even some of the earlier that we did. Sheldon, you know, like
they're Sheldon all in the same category.
They're kind of different. You know, they're kind of different hits there. So
Showtime Brando, even when I did that, Showtime Brando was a character.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
Yeah.
But I would put probably Afro Man, DK, 4-3, and who else in the
as far as the comedy?
I mean, but Ced's
comedy's got to be the best though. I mean, comedy just makes the show.
Those are the ones for sure. We walked away and we were like, okay, that is hilarious. But it's like I told him, I've been crying laughing at 4-3 because I swear the first 13, 14 minutes straight, like I was like, dude, this is like right out the gate, super.
Yo, what did he say? What did he say in that clip where it just kept just the way that his expression was in that one clip?
He kept saying, he's like,
no, you remember in that one clip?
What were we talking about? We got 2 or 3.
We were driving to the show at Bridgestone, and I pulled it up, and he was like, did you say that with that?
Yeah.
or whatever. The way he brought that up was so funny.
Yeah, and all the moments that we even missed with 4-3, you play back on it, the stuff that we were talking about and joking about before, and then, you know, the show airs and you get that, and then, you know, of course.
4-3 said he almost blew away in a windstorm.
Yeah, he did.
That he felt that he got pushed from behind from a person.
Somebody pushed him. So
but it was the actual wind.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, no.
Before we started rolling, and I was like, what the hell? Why didn't we get that on camera?
And then he's giving people asthma attacks at school. So it's
crazy.
Yeah. No, that it's been good, man. But yeah, it's hard it would be almost impossible for me to do a top 3 just because they all kind of have been super unique in their own right and not really.
Right.
Yeah, none of them really. I mean, we try to, you know, keep down the same line as far as that base. You know, what are you working on now? You know, what encouragement would you give? What would you change? You know, like we ask the same kind of basic stuff of everybody and just let it morph into what it morphs into. But as far as dropping all them, there is no way. Everybody's so different and so, you know, their own being that one's almost impossible. We were having a similar debate this week at work, which I thought was interesting. You know, that there's been this whole back and forth of Taylor Swift, you know, running with kind of here, you know, as far as music, that's all that you're hearing about is Taylor, there's Travis and everything else. But music wise, it's Taylor. And then who's second? You know, so like during our call this week, you know, that whole thing
Pitbull.
came up was, this is a good week for it to be Pitbull. But I mean, the whole, you know, argument came up was who falls in second. And then that even morphed into, it almost reminded me of this show in that, you know, that one thing get asked and it triggers something different because we're all different, you know, so it triggers something different with each one of us. And we just allowed a conversation, you know, to go there. But then it went to, what's your top 5 in music?
Yeah.
The first question always gets asked, of all time? Or are we talking now?
Now.
You know, because to me, those are two different things because like the now for me, man, it's so many, you know, artists from way back when that if you don't put them in the category, and I'll tell you, like people start spinning off their list or whatever, and I quickly go, I said, so no Whitney Houston out of all time?
Yes.
And you go, oh my God, I
Or
forgot.
Michael Jackson.
You know, so but it came to debate between Gaga, you know, and then Tina Turner comes up, and then you got Ozzy. You know, like we were all over, but you sit there and you go, man, these people have so many hits. You can't do it.
Yeah.
It boils down to the individual at that point. And I think that same question here is what you said. It's gonna be different for Karen and different for you and different for me. And we all sit in the same room. You know, because something got said or something resonated more, or let's be honest, we may have watched the show back ourselves and go, nah, I sound much better on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Or I like my outfit way better on that one. So you're gonna pick that show and be like, no, go watch this one because I was really good on that one. You know,
Yeah.
so you know, because we're sitting here having fun and shooting from the hip, and the cars just happen to keep falling, the right way for us.
Whenever I talk about like a top 5 conversation, I always think about Brandon because like my vision of Brandon's top 5 is like Jay-Z 1, Jay-Z 2, Jay-Z 3, Jay-Z 4, Jay-Z 5.
And if you need a 6th one, Jay-Z 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny, man. But you're right. Because and Carrie, you missed that whole debate one night. We were sitting over at Dave's house and they started debating rappers and everything else. And it's no different that how he sees that world and what encouraged him coming up as a rapper versus Brandon just enjoying the music and finding his favorite, and don't ever discuss anybody else ever being better than this person to me because they're not. So he was like, no, dope song. No, dope song. No, dope song. Don't, but not here. You know, like it's the Michael Jordan basketball argument, you know, like to where, you know, most people are going to tell you Jordan's the GOAT.
Yeah.
You know, so like you don't have that, you know, like.
But is Jay-Z better than Biggie Smalls?
In some people, in some people's eyes. But then, you know, you got to think, man, you also have your people that are going to lean, you know me. I was always a Pac and Kendrick guy, you know, like.
Yeah.
Because that's just what resonated, you know, a little more of me. I'm not taking anything from Andre 3000, who I love. Or Kanye, who I love, or, you know, like. The old Kanye that I love.
You know what's crazy? You know what's actually
correct.
mind-blowing is that Pitt will not make a top 5.
Because don't appreciate. I'm telling you, this week was a prime example, and I'll take full credit for who I am as a person. I would have been that person that would not have even probably registered for me until you sit there through it. And now every single time. And I think that's the joy in the concert experience.
Yeah.
Or
like when you think of top 5, right? Are you classifying lyricism? Are you classifying
but that's where
song-wise?
That's where people do it different though, because like people will argue all day over lyrics.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why that's probably why I lean more toward, you know, a Kendrick or somebody that like I listen to what you're saying. Beat is great. You got to get me with the beat first, and this is how I operate. You got to get me with the beat first. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna shut you down anyway.
Yeah,
it's just how I am. So I'm a beat, and then I go, okay. I'm not even trying to learn the words of it. I need to listen. Tell me a story, you know. So I want the beat to. I want a story to beat.
Correct.
You know, versus some. You know, and I don't know why it's the first thing popped in my head, but it's from Kings. You know, where Steve's like, "I'll shoot you in the chest. I'll wet you." Well, I don't. That does nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't do nothing for me. Like you know, like you can put whatever beat you want to around that, and I'm gonna be like, see you bye. I'll never be a fan of yours.
No.
But then you sit in a concert like we did this week, and you go, oh my goodness.
It's when you're telling
every freaking song that came on, and you now when these debates come up now, Karen, you now. Because you enjoyed that experience. You know, it was something that now gives you that visual image of that I probably need to remember this dude. I hate that I miss seeing Michael Jackson or Prince or, you know, all of them when they were alive. Because they created something that you can appreciate without.
Yeah, correct.
You know, you don't have to have been there. Their music was that good that, you know, you didn't have to ever step foot in there to, like, appreciate what they brought to the table versus... You know, but
I'd put Pitt in the verse battle against freaking Hove.
Oh, I would. That would be interesting. Brandon,
I would.
You know, Brandon thinks gonna win.
Hove. Yeah, but you know what though? If it would to go based off of hits throughout time, right? And if it goes hit after hit after hit after hit, Pitt has more hits.
There's gonna be a lot of people that argue against and for Jay-Z.
Yes.
Point blank.
Because Hove is the king.
That's,
we all understand.
For various
Hov
reasons, you're going to
king.
have a lot of arguments one way or
whatever.
Other. I mean, so.
And he is the king of hip hop. But like Pitt, hit for hit against Jay-Z would knock him off, I think.
I think it'd be interesting.
Because Pitt probably has 300 hits.
He's got a lot.
And more hits in Spanish.
Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good verse battle.
Prime example why I said, Karen, earlier, we got to bring this whole, we got to diversify that, because I think seeing it and hearing it makes you appreciate the ones that you like. I think it takes you from like to love in a lot of cases.
I agree with that.
To where you go, to where you like, it's the experience. So you go, and we have that arena to do so. It's taking people from like to love.
Exactly.
Somebody might have liked the nursery rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably gonna love it after the night, after they see the video.
Yes.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So exactly. So
yeah.
Even though Karen, one dude, I told him on the way over here, one dude commented on TikTok, he's like, "You're not gonna make it out your kitchen with this one, buddy." And I was like,
but that guy, in all respect, that guy did have 71 followers. So just
okay, well there you go. But I also like just being on the set while you're shooting it. One of the parents or somebody suggested, "Hey, why don't you have all the kids just turn to ashes?" And then the producer, the camera guy says, that's going to be a little bit morbid. We might get a little pushback on that. So it's all about perspective, right?
Yeah.
It's all what people imagine, what they want.
The kids are having a good time.
They look really cool. The kids were having a great time.
Right.
The fire was awesome. You didn't have to turn the kids to ashes because you had the fire there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good, man.
To sum up this conversation, people, make sure to go stream Ring Around the Rosie on all platforms. And while you're at it, buy some Big D sauce, the best sauce in the game. One day I'm just going to chug this bottle.
Don't do that.
I'm just going to chug the bottle.
Don't do that. It's good. It's good. Don't chug that. That's going to be... No. We'll get kicked out of here forever. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I'll be burned.
Yeah, we'll be banned. We'll be banned. But no, it's been good, man.
Final words for the people, Karen.
Oh, final words for the people. It's happy weekend. It's Friday. We never shoot on Friday, so I'm super excited. It's like the good energy flowing for the weekend. Be out there in Nashville. How's your weather in Nashville this weekend?
Nasty.
It's
nasty. It's really nasty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went from beautiful to nasty fast.
Nasty fast.
Yeah.
D, you got any final words?
I'm hanging out with you guys, so I have to say this is the highlight of my week. There you go.
See how quick we turned that, Karen?
We love that.
Yeah. No, final words for me, man. Hey, keep living. Keep dreaming. Keep doing.
Ooh.
You're living it. So, hey, we'll give you your flowers while you're dropping new heat today. And, hey, no different than what you do in life, what Karen does in life, what I do in life, whatever it is, do it, give it your best.
Unapologetically, yes.
The final words from me are, if you're not in the circle, create your own.
Yeah.
I like that.
Deep.
Look at you guys being deep already this week.
Yeah.
Deep. Because you know what? Like Ring Around the Rosie, you're in the circle.
It may be the Friday effect, Karen. Maybe we need to start moving these to Friday.
That might be it.
We know the week is over, and like we can officially kind of put all our thoughts together and be ready for this reset.
Bro. And I don't get to have Mexican food or chicken with you guys. I'm sad.
Actually, though, you just gave me a great idea for at some point this weekend. So we might have to make that happen. We'll send you some. We'll get some dry ice.
We and I'll end it with this because like I don't know why the heck like I wouldn't, but we were driving here before and we got in an actual accident.
What?
And we didn't want to talk about it. We smashed into this henway.
Oh, man.
or whatever. We smashed into this massive
Karen
henway.
Never admit
Karen.
guilt.
Karen.
What?
Okay.
Karen.
All right,
Karen.
go on.
So we smashed into this massive henway while pulling into here. And it was just excruciating. There was stuff all over the place, and it was brutal. Because the freaking henway, it's huge.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Karen, because you know the henway, right? The henway, it's massive.
How much
I'm
does it?
scared.
How much does
Oh,
it?
the hen. Oh, God. Okay, the hen.
How much does the hen weigh?
About
Yes,
5 pounds. All right. Nashtyville.
We will request this to be cut from the show.
All right, Nashtyville out.
That's funny.
Ride around my top down, window shaking a lot now. I'ma stay proud, no Kane Brown, but I thank God for these days now. Don't make sounds, crash glass, no rebounds. N-town, Nashville, and I stay proud now.